it's Michael from Culture Talk and Tours, and I'm here today in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, with my new Canadian friend, Helen Duffy. Helen, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Now, this is very unusual for us here at Culture Talk and Time because I'm here doing interviews with artists and adventures and ruins and museums, and I came to get a facial at Helen's Spa, Indigo Spa here in Phnom Penh, and it turns out you are Canadian.
I am.
She is proudly Canadian. So we were talking when I was getting the procedure done.
Yes.
Can you give us a little background of your life and how you got here?
Sure. But I went to school in Winnipeg, and I took fitness and nutrition.
Right.
And then I moved from Winnipeg, and I moved to Toronto, and I worked in a weight management clinic.
Right.
First one, and I think I started in 1988. Oh, jeez, January of 1988. This weight management clinic called Figure into Space.
Right.
So they took care of the body, the figure, and they took care of the face. And they were way ahead of the times. They had like frozen facials. They were doing LFBs with low frequency beam facials, which we now call a non-surgical facelift.
Right.
So I learned a lot there.
Right.
And then I ended up working for one of my friends, Marion Healy, who owns Beverly Hills Weight Management Clinic, which is another weight management clinic in Milton, Ontario.
Right.
And so I just progressed from there, and then in 2004 I developed my own skincare line, which I forgot to tell you about the other day when you were having a facial.
Right.
And it was called Duphage Skincare, and it was a microdermabrasion home system.
Right.
Just when that was coming about, and that was like I said, 2004. And then I moved to the Bahamas in 2007.
Right.
And opened up a little spa on a cabana right on the beach at a place called Compass Point, a boutique resort.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun. And then another one at Old Fort Bay in Nassau. And then one back in Toronto again when we moved back to Toronto.
And how long were you in the Bahamas?
5 years.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, 5 years, and I met my husband there.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a chef, Michael Padron. And then after that we went to the Bahamas, we went back to Toronto, and then in 2015 we moved to Cambodia.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been here ever since?
9 years.
And what brought you to Cambodia? Is it the story I'm hearing where people come for a holiday and then they just fall in love, or you knew about it?
Well, sort of.
Right.
I fell in love. The first time I came here, I fell in love. And one of the things I said to my husband is that I'm never moving to Asia. You are never going to get to me moving to Asia.
Right.
And he had taken a job as the executive chef at Songsan in June of 2015.
Right.
And I said, it's a 2-year contract. Just go. We'll visit back and forth.
Right.
But I'm not moving to Asia.
Right.
And then I came for a visit in August, and I fell in love.
Right.
Oh, it was the same way I fell in love with the Bahamas the first time I went there too. I got off the plane and I just went, wow, there's just something about here that just makes me smile.
Yes.
And so I visited. I went back home, and a couple weeks later, the general manager at Songsan offered me the spa director's job.
Wow.
And so Michael and I chatted about it, and in 3 weeks I sold everything we had. The car, all the furniture, put everything in storage, got a ticket, and came.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Wow.
I know. I know. I swear to goodness, I drank so much champagne in those 3 weeks just thinking, what am I doing?
And then how did you go from that position to where we are now?
So we did, Michael was at Songsan for a year. I was there for 6 months, and then there was a shuffling of the HODs, so they bought us out.
Right.
And we didn't know what we were going to do. We thought, well, should we go back to Canada? Neither one of us really wanted to go back to Toronto.
Right.
So we went back for a month, sorted things out, and then decided, yeah, it's Cambodia for us.
Right.
So we came back. Michael got a consulting gig. I got this general manager's position at the Providor, which was a caviar, wine, cheese boutique.
Right.
Which was interesting and hard.
Yes.
And then I bumped into somebody who was a hairstylist, and he had this whole second floor here. It was his hair salon.
Right.
And he had this 300 square feet room upstairs, and he said, do you want to do a spa? And my husband was like, nope. And I went, yes.
Right.
So totally renovated the top floor and opened in November 15th then I was upstairs for 14 months by myself, getting clients from Vaughan downstairs in the hair salon. And then he left, and in December of 2017, I guess, we renovated this whole second floor, and we opened in January.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've been
8 years.
8 years in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's quite remarkable, because most people, they have to jump around as they grow.
Well, I'm already old, so I don't have much more growing to do.
Well, I mean, as the business grows, you know, like you outgrow a space, but this way it's kind of worked out for you. Now, we haven't interviewed anyone of your profession before, so here at your spa, you're doing facials and different massages. So you've got full body, leg.
Yes, well, we're known for our facials.
Okay.
We're a Western style spa. We use European products, and so we use instruments.
Right.
But nothing that we do is invasive. It's
Right.
all external. So we do microcurrents, tighten and tone the skin. We do radio frequency facials. We do glycolic peels. But our massages are basically a Swedish massage.
Okay.
Oil-based. We use hot poultice. We make our own poultice here.
Right.
It's so funny too, because some of the clients, they think, is it hot stones? And it's like, no, it's poultice, which is so fabulous, which is Cambodian salts wrapped in material that I buy. I pick and I buy nice silk materials, and we heat them in a towel warmer, and then you just go up and down the back and along the trapezium muscle. It's just so nice.
Yeah.
And then, as you had a pedicure today.
Yes.
So we do a power tool pedicure, which I don't know of anybody else that does one here.
Right.
And I learned how to do that in Zurich, in Switzerland,
Right.
from this gentleman called Jared Butler.
Okay.
No, not Jared Butler. Sorry, I was thinking the actor.
actor.
But it was Butler. It was his last name, and he was from the Bahamas originally. He married a Swiss girl.
Wow.
And so he taught me how to do that there.
Right.
And so we use a Dremel, and we take off all the dry skin on a dry foot before soaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I've had pedicures before, and it's quite different.
Yeah.
And you said something quite interesting just now, that you never do any shaving.
Yes.
You never do any cutting.
Yeah, we don't.
No.
Yeah. Even when I took my aesthetics course, they gave you an option of whether you wanted to learn how to use a blade or just learn how to use a file.
Right.
And it just made me a little bit jittery. Like I had the biggest fear, like if someone's ticklish or something like that, and they move their feet, and you could, it's messy.
Yeah.
So.
And also, being from Toronto and friends with people, girls, they'll be talking about, oh, I got a pedi at lunch and they went too deep.
Yes.
And they've got a cut in their heel and they're bleeding through their espadrilles or something. So I've never, I've had certain procedures, but I've never had where there was nothing like that. So that was quite interesting as well. Now, you were saying that when we met before for my facial, that you have all these different things that I've never had before. Especially in Asia, they'll do some steam, they might do a mask, some sort of deep cream, and then they'll leave you there with a hot towel or something. But you had, what exactly did we do?
So I did a custom facial for you.
Right.
And the only time that we do steaming in a facial is when you do a cleansing facial and when the skin requires it.
Right.
If your skin's beautiful, you had a little bit of blackheads on your nose, but it was easy to clean with a tool. So I knew I could clean it at the end because your skin had already been softened. So I didn't need to steam.
Right.
So sometimes you steam, you're forcing the pores open, and then you do extractions. It traumatizes the skin.
Right.
Now, having that being said, it still needs to be done for some people's facials. But if it's not needed for their skin type, then you don't need to do it.
Right.
But with you, we did, I think we used some microcurrents.
Yes.
And then we did radio frequency, the infrared, so it simulates collagen production. Then we did the blue cool lighting, which helps to shrink the appearance of the pores and calms the skin down.
Right.
And then we put on a fabulous anti-aging mask on you.
Right. Which I didn't need.
But we also, before we put the mask on, we also do a nice facial massage because it just feels good.
Yes.
You know, and then when the mask is, then we put the mask on, we give you a foot massage.
Yes.
Because we don't, there should be somebody in the room with the client all the time.
Right.
You shouldn't leave your client in the room when you have a So we use aluminum oxide crystals.
Okay.
The same crystals that you use in microdermabrasion, except
Okay.
we're not using the equipment. We just gently massage them. And if you think in terms of sandpaper, 80 grit is coarse.
Right.
We use 180 grit, which is very, very fine. We
Right.
just gently use it. And so you, by using these, you're not adding any extra ingredient like oil or anything else, the ingredients that they put into a wet exfoliant. This is a dry exfoliant.
Right.
And it works perfect for all skin types. And even when people have rosacea, we can use it, but extremely gentle on usually the cheek areas where they have it.
Right.
And then you can go a little bit more. And what it on the other areas, like the neck or the forehead. And what it also does is it takes off about 2 to 3 layers of dead skin cells that are on the surface of your skin. And you felt your skin afterwards. It was fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was quite an experience.
And it still looks gorgeous.
Thank you. But it was quite, and it was a treat that my friend Charlie treated me too.
He was very nice. Your friend Charlie is lovely.
One of your favorite clients.
Yeah, we like Charlie. I'm sure you like Charlie too.
Yes, my cameraman likes Charlie as well. And he was always talking about on the weekends they do this, and everything. So, and you were telling me a little bit about your client base. So, a lot of expats.
A lot of expats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So men, women.
Both.
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 Okay.
Yeah. So, we get a lot of embassy people, a lot of diplomats, and we get a lot of the international teachers.
Right.
And the reason we do is I'm Canadian.
Right.
I speak English. I don't speak Khmer.
Right.
My staff all are Khmer.
Right.
But it makes the international people here feel more comfortable.
Yes.
And there's nothing lost in translation.
Yes.
You know, when they say they want this, that, and the other thing, I understand exactly what they're saying.
Right.
Yes.
And I didn't tell you this before, but what I found quite comforting is that every step, when we did the facial, you would be telling me what you were doing.
Yes.
Because some people, especially the one that was kind of tightening the muscle, and you were
the
saying
electrodes,
it's going to be a jolt.
Yeah.
And I found that quite comforting because I trust the process. I put myself in your hands, but I think for some people that would be quite comforting.
Yes.
To know.
Especially a first-time client.
Right.
They say, everybody can say, I want the anti-aging facial, or I want the radio frequency facial. And so when they're a first-time client, you walk them through it.
Right.
You don't want to leave somebody lying on the bed and not knowing what's coming next.
Right.
Because those 2 facials have things that, your muscles involuntarily move.
Yes,
and you feel like your head's, tingling on the top, and when you go around the eyes, it feels like you're watching a strobe light, even though your eyes are closed.
Right.
So you need to inform somebody about
that this is going to happen.
Even when we do the cleansing facials, like Noi is my manager, and she's been with me 7 years, and she just does facials. And when we always send everybody to her for the cleansing facials because she's like a little ninja.
Right.
She'll go in there and clean your skin like nobody's business.
Right.
But even she says, I'm going to do this now.
Right.
And if we have to use a disposable needle, a medical disposable needle to get a Mila out, which is a calcium deposit on the face, which you can't break with the tool, you have to just pop the skin a little bit to get it out.
Right.
She always says, okay, we're doing this, and this might be a little bit stinging, and total.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. So if you've got people that are planning to come here, and part of Cambodia is this whole relaxation thing. I'm coming from Taiwan, which is very go, go, go. So I'm learning to slow down.
Yeah, breathe, baby.
And when my friend suggested, we're going to do a facial, I just thought, we got to go to the museums, we have to go to the palace, but it's also an experience while you're here.
It is.
And it worked out so nicely because, we were talking about how we used to vacation in the Bahamas a lot. You're
Yes,
from
of
Canada,
course,
from Canada, your husband's from Canada. And now here we are.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, so we knew that we would love you, but we didn't know that we'd be sitting here chatting more about the business. So if people are coming to visit, they can find you on Facebook, on Instagram.
I'm not on Instagram.
Okay.
So I'm told I should be,
yes.
But I'm not.
Maybe we'll help you with that, but at least on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we'll have your business card, email. You can email an appointment. especially the ladies. I think they would work it into their tour.
Yeah. Well, you can find us also when you Google like best massages or best spas in Cambodia or Phnom Penh. We come up.
Right.
Yes.
Because you must be one of the very few, if not the only one that is, especially run by a Canadian.
Yeah, I don't know another spa that's run by a Canadian.
Yeah. So you've cornered the market here. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to meet you.
It was lovely meeting you as well.
And it just completely worked out. I had this facial, and then I was like on a cloud, and I just had a pedicure.
I know.
And it was
look at how great your feet look.
I know. I didn't even put haven't even put my flippers back, my flip flops back on. Wonderful to meet you.
Oh, lovely to meet you.
And we'll be back.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, we'll be back to visit because I've been to Cambodia before, but I've missed it.
Yeah.
And it's really quite, changed a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a nice bubble that you have here.
It's my home.
Yeah. So you're here.
I'm here
for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. No, I have no intention on going anywhere else.
No, you've got a nice setup. So, and you're here on 2 floors.
Yes,
you've got two floors here. So it's Indigo Spa, Phnom Penh, and you've been here for years now. So there's no worry about finding an old location or anything.
No, I started here. I want to finish here.
Yeah, and the street is so great as well. So many great shops.
I know.
And this Enzo's, the little restaurant over there. We went for lunch there afterwards. Great shops up and down. So I've really enjoyed it. So wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And I love to help Canadians. Not that you need my help, but let's see if we can get more people here.
We can always use help.
Yeah, exactly. A little publicity.
Yeah.
So again, if you are in Phnom Penh, you want a facial, you want a foot massage, pedicure, manicure, body massage, Helen Duffy is here for you, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.